WIBW. This cold weather has mobilized a team of community organizations and volunteers to look out for our neighbors who are unsheltered. The Extreme Weather Task Force reopened warming centers. Topeka Rescue Mission, Fellowship Highcrest, Vallejo, and TPD's Behavioral Health Unit are among all of those who've been out in the cold to keep others warm. TRM CEO Amanda Cunningham and Deputy Director of Support Services Miriam Crable are here to let us know a little bit more about the effort. You were open last week, you reopened Monday. How many people, Amanda, have you cared for over that period?
Yes, just this week alone we're at 140. And the first one we did was 169. Last week was pretty much the same. And that is not including what we've done in our shelters, which is an average of between 240 and 270 a night.
For the warming centers, and particularly, that number is that unduplicated individuals?
That's unduplicated.
And about how many each night? Like last night, how many people were at, because there are 2 locations, is that correct right now?
Well, we have 3 locations going. We have the one at the Topeka Rescue Mission, one at Fellowship Highcrest, and then our sweet friends at Street Team Ministry and Bread of Life are at Ripley Community Center, also operating one. And then our good friends over at Central Park Christian Church are doing one as well. And so when you look at all of those, we have anywhere between 90 to 110 on each night.
And then I understand Vallejo too has been, some folks need extra attention or a different place to stay. They've been stepping up and assisting there.
Yes, and we've also appreciated Vallejo and TPD CIT outreach and Behavioral Health Unit. They have really helped the Topeka Rescue Mission outreach teams this week. So because of all 3 of those entities and Matt Baldwin with the Breakthrough House, we've been able to launch about 3 to 5 teams every day doing outreaches as well, doing transports to get people to safe havens.
And that means, Miriam, you're physically going out and finding people who maybe don't know that these centers exist because they're not watching TV. They're not getting text messages.
Correct. And not just that, they also might not be able to get to us because the weather's been so cold, and then with snow and everything, they just can't get to us. So our teams will pick them up and bring them in. So there's lots of reasons that our outreach teams go out to try to help people.
What other services do they get when they come to the warming centers? Because I've seen some people ask, well, why doesn't every church just simply open its doors and do this?
So we try to offer them case management. Like if they're looking for housing, we try to get them started on that process. TPD is there doing IDs. We also have 3 meals a day. We help them take showers, all of those kinds of things that they can't normally do when they're living outside. So just trying to meet all of their needs. There's mental health needs too, so Vallejo helps with that, with just trying to keep people calm and help them work through some of the things they're struggling with. So whatever people need, we try to be able to provide at the time, during that time they're with us.
Obviously 60 degrees is good news, but how long do you anticipate keeping the shelters open, the warming centers?
I just announced about an hour ago that we'll be closing tomorrow at 11. And we're doing that because temperatures will be around 20. There's no precipitation. The wind chills aren't supposed to be bad. Plus it's sun shining. So we'll be giving people breakfast tomorrow morning, and then a sack full of proteins and different foods and waters as they go out. Into the 50s and 60s, like Jeremy was saying this weekend.
There is, so tonight you still have a place, if you know somebody, they can go to. Children's Palace is the location for TRM or Fellowship Highcrest or any of those churches that you mentioned. This does create a need, though, for all the organizations involved, because this is not something that any of these groups have put in their budget for the year, so to speak. You've kind of called out the city a little bit today, Amanda. What is it that you would like to see city government and taxpayers perhaps do to participate in this?
Sure. I think that there is a narrative out there in our community right now that really isn't being heard by decision makers. It's one of those things that sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease, but a lot of times the people that are speaking positively and passionately on behalf of our unsheltered neighbors, they're not being heard because they're not the ones being aggressive. They're not the ones that are complaining. And so I'm really challenging those in our community right now that feel that there are injustices being done because of the ordinances and because of the lack of care for the person. I hope that those individuals really start speaking up and saying, we don't agree with homelessness and some of the challenges that come with it, but we don't want all of these disciplinary things done when we don't have the proper resources and continuum of care in place. And so I just hope that decision makers really start acknowledging that lives are being saved out here, and it's because of the nonprofits and the incredible hearts of many volunteers that are doing it, not being paid and on their own time.
Well, we will find out what the city is going to say, because there are a lot of discussions that continue on all sides of the issue.
Sure.
Amanda, Miriam, appreciate you guys being here.
Thanks, Melissa.
So much.